What's up, guys and gals, for the latest piece of One Piece, chapter 1174, entitled The Strongest in the World. And just let's open up with the cover page right out of the gate before we get to the last page of the chapter, which is, even though this was actually a really good chapter, I won't even say it's a one-note chapter, but it's very powerful, it's very emotional sort of idea. Everyone's talking, of course, about the very big reveal at the end of the chapter, the very Tolkien level size we're going with here. But the cover page is something I didn't know I wanted, and now I want an entire cover serial of the fact that Roger takes a stroll and tames a Tyrannosaurus like a puppy. And it's wearing his hat, and it's like going along, and Roger's taking a stroll. I'm like, yeah, here's your meat, T-Rex. How you doing, buddy? And oh, who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? I'm 100% behind a cover serial where we just see the adventures of Roger and Rex. You know, it's Roger, and Rex. You know, like, I am 100% on board with a cover serial for the foreseeable future, just covering these two. Anyways, we go forth to the actual chapter itself. Now, once again, a little one note, but not in a bad way, in a very focused way, just building on the emotional, like, draw of what the Giants are going through right now, and there's a lot of layers to this just one decision, because we don't jump away from this. We just see that Summers is like, oh shit, that the dream demon that I pushed into the thing, he destroyed the ship, and everything's going wrong, and it's a blunder, and all this craziness. And he's like, and all those sea clouds got blown away with it. This is a mess. I'm not going to be able to stop the arrow's effects. The brats will just fall and splat themselves against the mountain. Like, there's nothing here I can do and stuff. And once again, I brought this up last chapter review, that it's nice to see that not everything's working out perfectly. Because all our conquerors hockey guys who can kill these dudes, immortal, whatever. But all our main players, our Zoro and our Luffy and our Loki and all the, our dudes, our Gabon, who are all able to take these dudes on and take these dudes down, aren't in play yet. So it's like everything's just going a little too swimmingly. But I like the fact that it wasn't their arrival that necessarily caused a problem with the perfect plan. I'm right there with it. So they're like, well, so all they're gonna do is walk off the cliff, and he's like, oh no, this is terrible. And he's like, Gunko, you gotta stop the kids. We need to call off the plan for a bit. Gunko, can you hear me? And it's like, wait a minute, it's no use. Lord Emu's in there right now. It's not her. He's not gonna listen. Even if he does listen, he's gonna be like, I have, you are giving me orders, so he's just like, absolutely not, like, I can't get through to her. So he's like, okay. Then the parents show up, of course, as we know, the families and stuff, and they're trying to stop the arrows, and they're doing everything they can. We have one granny biting down on the arrow. We have another one with an axe just slamming into it, trying to chop it in. One guy's trying to tug-of-war it and stuff, while the kids are screaming, Mommy, Daddy, Grandma, Grandpa, save me, brother, sister, And so Summers is there, like, riling them up and stuff, and he gets this almost, like, gleeful look on his face. Like, gleeful, I don't know what to call this, but, like, masochist, sadism, something like that. Anyway, he gets a very sadistic, but, like, this pleasure out of it. Like, this dude read 50 Shades of Grey meets American Psycho. You know what I mean? Like, this is where this dude is at. This guy watched A Clockwork Orange, and he rooted for the beginning of the movie, so anyways, he's there. He's like, parents are trying to protect their children. The Thorns won't let them touch the brat cell. But the way things are going, they'll soon be forced to watch the kids go to their deaths. Well, that's such a juicy way to die. Oh. Is something happening down here? Yes, with this asshole, it probably is. I cannot wait. Once again, our Conquerors Hockey dudes are right now involved in other things. But if Scopper's not going to take him down for the 95th time in his career, then, I'm just saying, Jordan, step aside right now and let Kobe take a shot because it's time for the new blood Zoro to come in here and be like, absolutely not. I want to see this dude decapitated by Enma. You know, well, I want a few other things cut off this dude by Enma, but we won't get too graphic with that. I'm just saying, if Oda's going to bring up the gleefulness and the sadisticness and just the pleasure he is deriving from this terrible, like, these are children and shit, I'm just like, oh yeah, this is where you want the next chapter of One Piece to be like, all right, we need the law and order, viewer discretion is advised thing to come up and just be, you know, we need an R-rated chapter of One Piece, and I'd be totally for it. Yeah, so anyways, he's there like, well, this kind of works out. Goku's being controlled right now, and so none of this is my fault. Lord Emu's not going to blame me like this, so I'll be totally fine, and we'll grab other kids later on because we literally have no morality whatsoever. We are the world government. We are a horrible, horrible organization, you know, of elitists, you know. So yeah, it's just like, oh, and he's just absolutely beside himself with this and this idea. So this is where he even goes a step further. Like, this is what I'm talking about. He goes on the mic, well, the Denden Mushi, and he actually says, so all your kids, we've hit a slight kerfuffle here, so we were going to steal your children, but things have gone awry, certain people said certain things, I took that personally, and your kids are going to fall to their deaths. I mean, it's comical, really. Like, once again, R-rated chapter, Zoro with a sword, the dude's got an immortal body. I'm just saying, there are multiple ways in which, oh yeah, please regenerate because Enma's not done. Is all I'm trying to say here, that this dude deserves it, and I guess there's something wrong with me that I guess I wouldn't look away. I'd probably be sitting there, you know, sipping a cup of tea going, yes, quite, yes, I think this is appropriate right now. I think what's happening is a good thing, you know? So, anyways, we move on and we get the real emotional driven parts of this. So we get one of the parents, one of the grandfathers, he's like, I don't care if it costs me my arms, I'll stop them. And he grabs one of the kids to halt them, and he's grabbing the thorns and stuff like that. And he's just holding it, but he can't. They're still being dragged by the arrow, and he's being dragged, and then his arms are completely torn up, and finally he lets go, and it's just like, he's like, forgive me, I'm not strong enough to stop you, to hold on and stuff. Like, they're like, holy shit, it's like, we can't do anything with that arrow around, there's no way to stop the kids. You know, Ripley's there, they're all there going like, what are we supposed to do? And they're so close to the edge of the docks, you know, and Summers is just laughing. He's got tears in his eyes level laughing. You would think that like a combination of George Carlin, Bill Burr, and like Dave Chappelle were all on stage right now, like just going at the crowd like crazy. Like, this guy is busting a gut like he's never laughed in his life over this. And it's not the first time I've said it, and it's not the last. R-rated chapter, conquers hockey, and this dude is all I'm saying that would make me happy. Maybe that makes me as bad. No, it fucking doesn't. I know for a fact I'm still better than this asshole. So anyways, yeah, then the kids start talking about like, well, maybe this is some divine punishment. Like, maybe this is because I was in trouble too many times. If only I was better, like a good boy and stuff. And it's like, oh no, this is the whole like, you get coal in your stockings, or the boogeyman's gonna come out and get you if you don't brush your teeth and stuff. And the kids are starting to blame themselves. Like, it's like, oh no. So then they start saying, no, I promise I'll always be good. I won't take anybody's toys. I won't, you know, skip school. I'll do my homework. Like, they're doing all this stuff. It's like, I won't do anything bad anymore. You know, they're all remember. And we go through each kid. We don't just go through Colin. we go through all the other kids and stuff like that. We start with Colin, then we go through another one where it's like, you haven't cleaned your plate, but you hate all my cooking. Like, why do you got to be that way? You took your dad's sword. You're not supposed to do that. And then there's a kid that didn't agree with his grandfather being a part of the a pirate crew, the new giant warrior pirates. And the kid that lied, you know what I mean? And then the other kid, bring the homework and stuff. And it's just like I don't want to die. Like, this is terrible. And of course, Colin's leading the charge, but he's broken down. He's crying. And then there's Ripley, and she immediately just leans down. She doesn't even try to stop him. She leans down right in front, right on the edge of the wharf, right on the edge of the dock, and just hugs him. And just, boom, all the thorns stabbing her everywhere. This woman does not flinch. I mean, Left Hand of the Pirate King's wife, right? She is not. This is the same level. Like, once again, this is Jimbei level. I'm going to be the helmsman of the future king of the pirates. I will not cower in the presence of a mere Yonko. That's what this is. Like, who do you think I am? I am a mother. This is my child. And Scopper Gabon is my motherfucking husband. Like, I am not. No. You think your puny little world government bullshit devil fruit powers that you stole, you think that can hurt me? You think that intimidates me? I'm Ripley the Giant. I am the mountain that Gabon climbed, motherfuckers. I am not. I think she just became top 5 women in One Piece with this moment. Like, this is like top tier mother shit. This is some Bellamy level shit. This is some, this is, yeah, no fear whatsoever. So she gets stabbed, she hugs her boy, and just says, I might be able not to be able to stop you. I can't stop you, but I can at least hug you at least. And says, it's much better here, because Colin brings up, just like, but Mom, if you don't let go, you're gonna die too. And she says, I'm okay with that, because it's better than letting you die alone. And so she hugs him, and she gets... And you think, okay, something's got to save them. Something's got to save them. No, double page spread. All the parents, the brothers, what have you, the teacher even. They all go on, and immediately they all hug everyone. We got we got 4 moms, we got a granddad, we've got a brother, we've got a teacher, we've got everyone. Just going at it. It is heartbreaking, because it's this double page where she's initially pushed off, and then we see her start to fall, while the like 4 or 5 of them like they're all stabbed, and they are hugging their kids. They are not gonna let their kids die. Their backs. This is what I love about the symbolism. All the parents' backs are to the ground, so they're like, no. If there's a chance they survive, pretty much, I'm going to cradle them, and I'm going to die. They're still going to live. And I'm just, so it's double. Because everyone's talking about the fact that they all go over. I want to talk about the fact that in this shot, all the parents, seemingly by the looks of it, they're all trying to shield them from the fall. So at the very least, if there's a chance that when they impact, the parents will die, but the kids, covered in thorns, but they'll still be alive. It's just like... Oh, this is so powerful. It's so strong, and we just see, and then one of the dads, so we have a bunch of moms, we have a grandpa, we have a dad here, and then we have a kid that obviously has ancient giant blood in her, because she's got the horns and stuff like that, and she's like, it must be really nice having parents like these. And so obviously we have an orphan kid, which, I mean, obviously could happen. So, we didn't really bring it up, but now we have an orphan kid. And immediately it's Ange. It's the teacher, Miss Ange, who works with Saul and stuff like that. The one that was helping teach at the school and the library, and she's there, just saying, I'm here for you and stuff. She's remembering because they're all remembering memories, but she always dismayed. It's like, whatever, you're not my mom, and stuff like that. But she's acting like a mom, and she grabs it. It's just like, this is where One Piece, like, talking about it and reading it as a manga will get you teary-eyed. And I'm not saying that you can't cry to a manga, obviously. But, because I've cried at manga before, this gets me teary-eyed. But when this is animated, this is where anime thrives. Anime doesn't thrive because it's putting the same thing on paper. What it can do is do what a manga can't. The voice acting, the score, the pacing, it's all, moments like these will have people in tears. And it's just going to be so powerful. It's going to be so great. And then we even didn't know that Rhodes here, he also, who of course is goofy and stuff like that because he's a nerd of a brother, he's a Dungeons and Dragons stuff, blah, blah, blah. And we get, because we've had the parents, we've had the mom, the dad, the grandparents, then we have the orphan, who still has love from her teacher and stuff, who's willing to die for her. Then we have a guy who's like, he's been raised by his older brother, but his older brother's a bit of an outcast. He's a weirdo. He's a nerd. Even his friends don't really like him. And he's like, boom, 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 boom. And he gets him there, and he's like, absolutely, I'm fine. It doesn't hurt. And he's like, but his younger brother never, he's like, oh, get away from me. I don't want you're a nerd, older brother, and stuff like that. And boom, grabs, and it's like, it doesn't hurt at all, and stuff like that. And it's just like, oh, this is, I'm 100% here for this. Like, this is everything that I was just like, yeah, this moment, as I said, this moment can make you cry in the manga if you stop, read every line, and really think about it. And me talking about it right now, it even gets me choked up looking at it, talking about it and stuff. But the anime has an opportunity here, if they do it right, to score it right, because it's what manga can't do. They can't give you sound. The sound on this can elevate this scene to just make, it's going to be so beautiful. And then Summers, once again, I need some fan art of what I'm suggesting. Heavily suggesting. People. Fan art at least. We have AI of Hugh Jackman fighting Henry Cavill as Wolverine and Superman. For God's sakes, can't we AI a small One Piece episode scene that's a little R-rated and not just for the horny people, but for like people who want some catharsis, some satisfaction, just a little bit of a now I feel better. Like I sort of need that in my life, all right? I don't have a lot. So anyways, he's still talking trash, he's talking smack, and boom, then we get the big moment in the chapter that is like boing, boing, boing. It's like, what happened? And Colin's fine. Of course, and all of a sudden, it seems like the thorns are off all the kids, right? For whatever reason. And, but, like, or they just weren't drawn because immediately Luffy says something about, oh, that kind of hurts or whatever like that. But Luffy went into Gum Gum Rice Cracker Belly, so he stretched himself out, of course, as a big trampoline, boom. And so the parents are fine, the brother, the grandparents, everybody's fine. They're obviously stabbed by the thorns, but they'll be okay. Nobody died. Colin and the kids are all right. And this is where we see the eye. And it's Loki's just like, hey, as soon as we land, you get off my back. You're not meddling in my fight. And then he said, well, you guys just came falling down. And Luffy's already in gear 5th. And he's just like, you guys came out of nowhere. Good thing we were passing by, sort of idea, of course, because Luffy doesn't realize the situation is, of course, but they were saved at the last minute and stuff. Now Loki says that I'm the Great Destroyer. I didn't sign on to be the good guy or for anybody's safety, so let's move. And boom, all of a sudden, thunder's cracking. It's snowing. There's a blizzard. There's a lightning storm. It's all going crazy. And boom, do we not get a double page end of chapter spread. We were wrong about the Fenrir thing. Loki is officially and Calagon the Black. This is Toriko scaling we're doing right now. This is Tolkien scaling. This is stupid in the best possible way. When I say stupid, I mean Loki is stupid big. He's dummy thick here. Like, this is insane. Remember the size of giants. Remember the size of Loki. Now, remember how big this is. This is dumb. This is stupid. I do not believe he must have only went into hybrid mode when he killed Harold, because this thing did not fit in a fucking castle. I don't care how big the giant castle is. This thing is the size of Mary Joa. You know what I mean? Like, Loki is dummy thick in the best possible ways right now. And it's just amazing. Elder Jarl goes on a thing about the drums of liberation. And when a giant clears the sky, the sun god shall rise. And literally Luffy is on Loki's back being risen up into the realm. And it's just like, well, this is going to be a lot of fun. And then we have, of course, Ragnar there just in squirrel form going like, yeah, we're having a great time. And Luffy's like, yes, we are. And he's just crashing through all the dream demons. Immediately, Loki is in play. And Loki's just like, you know, it's like, would you two, like you're so happy right now. And Loki's just this once again, a dragon. Straight up a winged, horned, black dragon. As I said, and Calagon the Black. Due to the size, this is probably pretty accurate. The greatest dragon in written fiction is now here, and I am here for it. Loki, that fruit, I was unfamiliar. I mean, we all knew it was going to be insane, but I did not realize that Loki ate the Ankalagon fruit. And I'm here for it, though. I love it. I'm a little disappointed without the wolf thing, like no Fenrir thing, because I think that would have been really cool as well. But I'm not going to argue a fucking dragon, you know what I mean? Like, because I made a theory years ago. Years and years. Long before Wano. Even before Whole Cake, I had a theory, because everybody said that Kaido was either an ancient giant or an Oni. And I said, no, he's a dragon. I'm not the only one who said that, but I said for years that Kaido would be a bloody dragon. And I wasn't disappointed then, and I'm not disappointed now. Loki's a motherfucking dragon, and let's go. Let's go. So, chapter 1174. Obviously, there is a break next week for obvious reasons. And even though I'm late on this review, I wanted to make sure I got it out well before, even though there's a break week, and that gives me a little more breathing room where I'm working 6-day weeks, etc., etc. But I wanted to talk about this chapter, but I wanted to make sure I had enough time, because I knew I need, and we're about it. Yeah, I needed about half an hour of let's just talk about the chapter, because A, the cover page was fire, B, the emotional levels of this chapter. I'm glad they didn't split the focus, because I don't think it would have hit as hard. I would have made the right decision of making this all about the kids. The whole chapter is about the kids, and then the final page is just one big reveal of Loki being Ankalagon. But that's, you know, even though that's the big, like, wow factor, that's the big eye-opener moment, the whole chapter is still all about the kids and the parents. And I like that. I like that there's no deviating the focus. It's great. 100%, 2 thumbs up. Great chapter. 10 out of 10 chapter. Can't think of anything, because it makes us hate Summers. You know, we get very upset. Then we have the emotional trauma, so we get very sad with the kids and stuff like that, and the parents, you know, hugging the kids before they literally fall to their deaths. And then we get not only are they saved, we get the relief, we get the giant, literally the giant reveal of Loki's Devil Fruit. Like, what else do you want from a chapter? I'm going to call it 10 out of 10. There's no flaw in this chapter. There's only greatness. And it gets you a roller coaster of emotions. So, for me, perfect chapter. 1174, strongest in the world. So far, the best chapter this year, I would argue. This year, so far, it is the best chapter. So, anyways, that's it for me, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Sorry that this chapter, you know, is 5-6 days late. But once again, everything's going to be late for the foreseeable future. I'm trying to make that only 1 to 2 days late, but sometimes this chapter especially fall through the cracks when I don't have enough time nor energy to do a half-hour review and really give it its worth. I knew this chapter was great, and I wanted to make sure I was, not just hitting the camera record button just to get the review out on time, because I really wanted to have the energy and the proper emotions to talk about each portion of the chapter, each page, and really go into it. So, anyways, that's enough for me. Already plugged. So, that's it. Have a good one, everyone. We'll see you back here for 1175 after the break. Looking forward to it. Hope you guys are too. Sayonara.